take it. Bobby Boy.
7 trips on.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's been long overdue.
Long time.
It's been months and months. It seems like.
You know.
We got Brooke back in here. We got Jacob. We're back. So I know we've got a lot of stuff to cover and some new baits and all that fun stuff because you guys have been on the road fishing the college deal. Actually not screwing up my college fantasy bracket.
No, we're still screwing it up.
Well,
the only reason we haven't been screwing it up is because you stopped picking us.
Yeah, we didn't want to get there. We'll get to that. Anyways, before
we start,
yeah.
I do want to talk about
Go.
this custom wrapped Yeti Tundra behind me. That,
Shameless plug. Get it.
We're giving away. Just head over to our Instagram or Facebook and check out the original post. There's a link there that you can sign up for. 75 quart Yeti Tundra that's wrapped pretty sweet. So sign up and win it. We're giving it away we're drawing July 1st, so you'll have it right before the 4th of July. Keep all your drinks nice and cold in this heat wave.
Yeah, whatever, and what adult beverages included, whatever you want to keep cool.
Not included with
Yeti.
the cooler.
Yeah, that is extra. Yeah, we're not providing that. But anyways, in kind of a little state of the bait update with Baitworks, we have had a bunch of stuff going on. We've had some big changes coming down, so that's one of the reasons we haven't done as many podcasts. Been super busy. So if a little bit of backstory, if anybody hadn't heard or anybody cares out there in Baitworks podcast land, we separated the online retail and the retail sales. So now we moved that segment to a different building. So now all those online orders, instead of fulfill from the retail sales floor or backstock, or you have to go pick your order on an end cap, or where is it? Basically, we've grown enough, thanks to everybody out there that's ordering and keeps visiting the website, that we've grown, and we've now in a new building, separate building for all the online sales and fulfillment, all the orders coming in there. So we're now just getting back up and rocking and rolling. That being said, while that was happening, there was, I was doing inventory in store. They were swamped with orders trying to get received. Then the warehouse did inventory. So anyways, I want to apologize as Baitworks. The shipping did slip. It wasn't where we want it to be, not where I want it to be. So I do apologize to anybody that might have been affected by that. I know there was a lot of them. I know there were some orders fell through the cracks. So I do appreciate everyone's patience out there and sticking with us. But we're back rolling, and everything's going good. And the process should just continue to get better as we get settled in. Because the move, it was definitely needed, something that needed to happen because we had grown. But now that we are happening and we're kind of hit the ground running, orders coming back in, writing more orders. We got inventory coming back. Picking and shipping those orders is getting better and better, and we're getting on track. So anyways, that was more or less a Baitworks apology and a thank you to everyone for your patience in your business. And we definitely appreciate your coming back and checking us out, whether it's in store or online, because we couldn't be here without you guys. So we do appreciate that. Next up, just a shameless little, another little plug, if you will, on some new cool stuff that you guys may not know that we came in. But while we were gone, absent of the old podcast, we did get a new company, and we're pretty excited about True Bass. I've thrown it a little bit. I know these guys have thrown it for the last month and a half, 2 months. Right now, summertime, it's just a popular thing to fish. And you guys have had, so far I've caught a walleye and a white bass. So I have fished it. I know for instance, that Zoom swimmer is really hard to get right now. It's like finding a Fabergé egg if you can find it in a yard sale. But so that we got True Bass, a 5.5 inch swim bait is an awesome bait. Easier to find, and I've got to where I like it a little better than it seems softer, swims better than the Zoom swimmer. So keep that in mind. We've got those in stock and online, and not just the 5.5. 5.5 is what's popular now, but we've got several different sizes, even up to a 7.5 on the website. I think the 3, 3.5, 4. There's quite a few, and then
This one's been
Brock's
talked about
baby.
a lot.
That was a lot of buzz on that one, and that is killing it on the website still and in store. But the shuttlecock hair jig,
Yep. And they just came out with 2 new sizes, the 3/8 and the 7/8.
we're fully stocked on all of them.
Yep.
Which
So
they're
for
hard.
now.
They're hard to
Yeah.
get other places. So
Yeah, if you're interested, seriously go to the website now because it will be like a mag draft post. Like, we'll have them, and then you turn around, we don't have them.
Yeah. But
So
probably one of my favorite hair jigs. Probably is my favorite hair jig that I've thrown. Just as thick as it is, and I like it a lot.
it's got it looks really good in the water.
compared to any other hair jigs, the fullness of that hair jig beats everything else. And I think the big difference maker is it because it's so full is the rate of fall. I mean, yeah, on the other hair jigs you can go lighter, but when you have a big profile and a super slow fall, but it's still, I mean, at 5/8, so it's not slow, but
Yeah,
for a
but
hair
that
jig,
heft just gives it a bigger profile compared to some of the other companies,
yep.
and it just looks good in the water. Brock, is that? I mean, I don't want to, but I know you fished it some at Pickwick, and it didn't necessarily pan out for you that way. But you did go offshore. You made a point to try and catch some on it.
Yes, and most of the fish that I was getting to trigger was on a crankbait, but after they would slow down, I'd pick up a worm in that hair jig and try to catch them. And then after, even if they kept on staying, fired up, and they, you'd start catching one here and there on a crankbait, I would throw the hair jig out there and I'd be able to catch one, and then I'd go back through the rotation. And it was just part of that, just switching the baits up. But that's just, TVA ledge fishing is switching up baits. But
How'd that tournament go for you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, we're just going to talk about Brock's.
Oh,
fish in that
okay.
tournament.
Yeah.
But he's holding out a little bit of juice on us.
Yeah.
Bit. What crankbait? What crankbait?
oh,
was that?
come on, man. It was a Strike King 6XD hard knock citrus shad.
Yep. And that is Brock's all-time favorite crankbait. Pretty much from the month of May until October.
Yep.
Fair to say.
Yep.
So I think that's the only one he ever has tied on.
I'm right there with you. If it's not citrus shad, it's not my first one tied on. I can promise you that. I don't care how clear it is. I don't care what
Doesn't matter.
citrus shad.
Doesn't matter.
Citrus shad, maybe sliding a little bit of chartreuse, fully chartreuse, watercolor, but definitely citrus shad.
He's throwing that whether it's 4 foot deep or 24.
I think it works
Can't
better.
find it, grind it.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
right.
it back.
Just bulldoze it.
Yep. Digging ditches.
I'm just saying.
Just pushing it right through
He's
there.
just making new structure for those fish that he's
Exactly.
He's finding his own ledges. They're mini ledges, but they're there.
Yeah, they're
I really do think that's a deal. Like, I promise you. Like, I've caught more big fish on a 6XD between 6 and 9 foot of water than I have in that where it's supposed to run.
Yep.
And I mean, banging it.
Don't
Like,
let him
hard-
look at it.
No.
Just that's like same thing. You don't want to get it. It's just a reaction.
Yeah.
It's like that cat when something goes by him. Just don't let them think about it.
Yep.
Just, they have to react to it. I wish it worked like that every time, but when it does, it's a lot of fun. When you can force feed them that, and then on top of that other stuff, we're kind of talking. We'll just kind of go into that summer transition. I know
It's
you guys.
hot.
It's
It's
Toasty.
been scorching around.
yeah, but Lake the Ozarks has been good.
It has been.
Right, running water. I mean,
current's
Truman's coming
running.
in, so Lake the Ozarks is
Rolling
pulling
through
out.
there. Truman's been pretty good.
Yeah,
lately, too.
you did pretty good at Truman BFL.
Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah,
They're in the bushes. Hard to
I'm
believe
shocked.
they're in the bushes at Truman. So I think I don't think I gave up any secret there. But yeah, I mean they're biting at Truman. They're biting at Lake of the Ozarks. Haven't been in Table Rock for a while, but I'm sure they're biting down there. They always do this.
they were a couple weeks ago. We caught them pretty good in the bushes.
But I mean, me and Brock actually went to the lake last night after we left here, and that true bass, that 5.5 inch on a 1/2 ounce head, they were chewing the tail off of it.
Yeah,
So I mean, every fish that I caught, you get it back, and you can barely see the head of the head that I was throwing. So that's definitely a deal.
There was one time I was sitting down to retie my worm, and I looked back and I see his rod go funk, and I'm like, whoa, because we at the beginning of the day it was kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't catch that many fish, but that first time when I looked back and I saw his rod go funk, and it was about, 3.5 pounder. I'm like, all right.
So you guys were gone the whole day yesterday?
No, we were here till like 4.
What?
Come on.
Yeah.
How early did you leave?
Like 4. I just told you that.
I didn't get that invite.
Well,
I didn't.
you can come the next time.
I didn't get that.
You want to go tonight? What time is it now?
Yeah, we're good.
We could just.
Yeah, we got to go.
We're going to cut it short. We're going fishing.
Yeah. No, but those lakes are, for whatever reason, guys have been catching some big weights on stuff like this at Palmy. Like it was normal this time of year. But it's pretty hit or miss, too. So you've got Lake the Ozarks, which is fishing really well. Truman, it's fishing pretty well. And then you've got some other lakes that we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like Palmy, you had a lot of offshore guys, and they're getting 5 bites offshore. They might be going to be good ones, but they're just not setting up on that deep stuff like they normally should be this time of year.
I mean, you
Same
should
with
be able to
Stockton.
go throw a big worm in a brush pile
Yeah.
or a deep crankbait over it and crack them.
Yeah.
But they're, like he said, it's not there. But I know there's a lot of people around this region that are using this hair jig a little bit differently than everybody else and fishing it for suspended fish. Because normally everybody, throw it out there and tight line it down, reel, tight line it down, reel, whatnot. But guys are using live sonar to
Pinpoint their
live scope fish off that are suspended off drops, trees, whatever.
Yeah.
Which, take that with what it is. But
well, I think that's what you have to do on some of those lakes because you're just not. They're starting to pop. They want to get out there, but they're like I was at Palmy Sunday afternoon. There was crappie fishing. It was 86 degrees, water temp.
90 at Truman.
Yeah,
Last week.
like they can't. Now Truman, those fish will stay shallow all year long. If there's water in the bushes, they will be on it all year long. And Palmy, some fish will too, but the vast majority of those fish in like Stockton, they will set up on those deeper brush piles, and they just haven't seemed to go. I don't know if the lakes are just enough high or, Stockton's still a few foot high. Palmy's almost normal, but it's been fishing tough for whatever reason. But
I mean, you still have one guy that catches 18 pounds, 17 pounds, but then everybody else is like 6.
I think that kind of goes back to what you
Yeah.
said. You might get 5 bites, and
But-
you might have 10, you might have 20. So it just kind of depends on what those 5 bites are.
or my tournament partner, I saw him Saturday morning when he was supposed to be fishing a tournament for us. I go, what are you doing? He's like, I went Thursday. I didn't have a bite. He goes, I might have had one. And he goes, I didn't want to fish today. I was like, well, that's good because it's this hot. You don't want to be just miserable out there.
Yeah.
But ordinarily, these things would be awesome. But they do, if you guys, and I know I keep harping on that Zoom swimmer because it is a great bait. There's a lot of guys use it. But it is definitely dried up. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard they're not making it. I don't know what is true, so I don't want to perpetuate any rumors. Either way, they are not on the market right now. So if you find them on eBay or whatever, you're paying top dollar for them. But these true bass, side by side, they're not as deep a bodied. The Zoom swimmer is just a little deeper bodied, and it's a 5-inch, and this 5.5 is a little longer. But they are just, I think, a hair softer, and they swim a little better. The tail thumps a little more
straight, and he was like burning it.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
You can crawl on the bottom and just bounce it off the rocks, or you can throw it out there and just burn it in. I caught one out of a group of schooling fish right on top of the water and just throw it out there and just as fast as you can reel it, and it still swims very true.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's been a good one.
That's pretty. I will definitely be spending lots of money on those.
You might already have. I might have seen them in the store once or twice already.
Don't say that too loud.
But well, you weren't on the clock.
That's true. I'm not the clock. The clock's
Like
not what I'm worried
leaving
about.
early.
Hey, I wasn't on the clock when I left either. So just mind your own business, all right? But back to what Brock said. The big worm bite. Who doesn't love a big worm bite?
And it's not there yet, and I'm not happy about that because that's one of my favorite things to do in the summertime. And normally, you should have had the whole month of June, and normally by the time 4th of July rolls around, I'm like, I love summertime fishing, but okay, now we can get to fall, or I've had my fill of it. But they just haven't. I haven't been able to throw big football jig, big worm. I think you may now start to see it.
Which I've
coming
always
around,
thought
but
the worm bite was more toward later in the year. Once the schools start to break up more and you're fishing more isolated cover and stuff. So, they might start moving into the brush piles a little better, especially at Lake the Ozarks when they're not out on the main lake schooled up. So that's something.
Or if they turn the water down, they'll get in there.
Because Truman's only 5 foot high now.
Yeah, they sucked the bottom of it out of it the last couple of weeks. So
I'm sure within a week or two, Truman is going to be where it's not in the bushes, and then who knows what's going to happen after that.
Which is about typical for this time of year for like the Ozarks. They usually run current pretty heavy through June.
Yeah.
And July, August, you really have to scrap and claw for 5 good ones. But hopefully we still get a couple more weeks of that fun offshore bite like the Ozarks.
Then you get in that mag finesse, ZUMA Monster.
Oh, yeah.
Find those brush piles. And again, it's still like a reaction thing. You're still trying to hit them in the face with it, but just get out over that limb, shake it. Don't just hop it through that brush pile immediately. I mean, come up to a limb. I will knock that. If I'm hung on a limb, I will knock that thing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before I even try to actually get it loose. You can trigger a lot of strikes, and they're in there. It's just sometimes you gotta, especially now with the forward-facing sonar, you can tell if they're in there or not.
Right.
You don't have to waste as much time, but you can. I mean, all about angles too. If you guys don't know, I mean, spin a circle, hit that brush pile 5 different angles, 5 different ways.
Cast on the outside of it.
Yeah, outside, inside.
Hey,
This guy.
I want him to catch fish.
That's like as juicy as a citrus shad 6XD.
Hey,
Dropping all sorts of knowledge.
He gave that up, so I can't be mad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you gave that one up for me, but
It's so are you saying that was revenge?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that one.
But
What can we expect coming after the true bass? You got to have something coming in down the pipe.
we'd have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. We have iCast, which will be here before we know it. In the store, I'm finalizing some little tidbit here in case you get it. You're interested, feel free and call us next week or come on in. But inside the store, I'm going to have 4th of July sale starting Monday. We're going to have some good deals, still finalizing some of that stuff. We'll have some rods on sale. I'll have a spend over $200. I've got some really cool Plano backpack to give away, with any purchase over $200. Now, that's kind of limited quantities while supplies last, but it's a pretty cool – we'll get some pictures and stuff up, but it's a pretty cool offering we're able to get. I've got some special purchase Berkeley Trilene. So like Trilene XT and Trilene fluorocarbon. So I know the downside is I only have 2 sizes of the fluorocarbon, 8 pound, which anybody going up north, a smallmouth swing, hey, it's not 6, but it depends on what you're doing. We have 8. And the other one, which is going to be really juicy around here, is 15 pound. So I only have 8 and 15 pound, but $9.99 compared to $22.
Yeah.
And same thing on the Trilene XT. There's just 3 different sizes. I think 6, 12, and 14 clear, but like $3.99 versus $7.99.
Yeah.
So we got some good deals coming in. Check us out. Limited supplies, no rain checks, all that fun stuff. But we do have some of that stuff coming out. As far as new products, I don't know. We got a whole bunch of irons in the fire. The Hibnans kind of touched on it. We got one of their design was a structure jig. What are we? Their big. I forget what we're calling that thing.
I think there's actually been a name
yeah,
officialized
but that is on the cusp of getting. I don't think we're letting the cat back because they already talked about it at our high school event a couple weeks ago. But it's a really good looking jig. I wish I had one. We're kind of talking about it where you guys aren't there. Like, what's he talking about? But it's just a big deep water summertime like structure jig.
Yeah.
Big heavy weights, fast falls.
If you want buy a jig from somebody that knows what they're doing, those guys. I don't think there is a day that goes by that Lawson and Dion Hibben don't have a jig on the front deck of the boat. So they know a thing or two about jig fishing. And
you can stick with me on this one. But literally the only thing that's helping it being held back that we don't have it now is because they didn't like the angle of which the weed guard laid against the hook. So that's how critical they were. So when as soon as that's done, we'll get that in. But that'll be here pretty soon, especially get on top of some of that summer bite. Same thing that that they get on a deep structure, brush piles, whatever. It'd be a good one to use. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's got a really cool hook in it. That Dion swears he doesn't lose fish. So if that guy's logged an hour or two with that jig in his hand and tells me he doesn't lose fish with a big old 11/16 or 3/4 ounce, I'm gonna believe him. So I'm pretty excited about that one too, just because same thing. I like that big worm offshore, that big jig. There's nothing finesse about it.
That's right.
Throw on your 20-pound fluoro and go do work. All right. So we've got a bunch of that stuff coming up. We're pretty excited about iCast. Just new stuff. See what all the new vendors are coming out. I mean, we'll probably do another podcast or two before iCast, but I imagine try to do one at iCast for sure. Or down there and get some new juice out on the scene. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. So I know it's hot and kind of that dog days. Try to beat the summer heat. So we got some stuff coming up. We got some stuff up the sleeves. So I don't know.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
We got to try to get Nate out on the river, film some river action.
There you go.
Yes.
So he doesn't know that yet either, but that's in my mind. Yeah, my mind. We're going to take a day and go to the river and film some content. Just some way to beat the heat and not spend a lot on gas.
That's right.
Yep.
Because we've got a lot of stuff.
That's easy to do.
We've got a lot of opportunities local that you don't have to put 30 gallons in the old bass boat, 30 gallons in the truck, and drive somewhere. We have a lot of water around here.
You tore them up on the creek a couple last week, right?
I did.
See, giving us a hard time about leaving early.
Stay tuned. We're going to discuss that. That's a future. I just took the day out. I worked Saturday. I didn't see you guys there, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
boom. Yeah. Exactly.
I got nothing to say.
what'd you catch? I never heard about this.
We'll bring another. I'm going to do a whole other podcast on river fishing. Don't you worry about that.
Right?
Yeah, we're not giving up the juice, but yeah, it was smallmouth. One random channel cat in a deep pool. So, but we didn't want to give up the juice on that one because that's. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, and the crappie are biting.
Crappie are biting. We can talk about summertime crappie fishing too, either now or on another podcast. But Palmy, Stockton, that same thing. I will touch on that just real quick because that Stockton, the most productive thing everybody's been doing has been trolling flicker sheds, and that bite has been awesome. But as it gets hot, that bite starts to wane, and those crappie that are suspended and just fall in thermocline and shad start to go to those summertime brush piles. And it's the way where I was at Palmy on Sunday, those fish are starting to move to their summertime stuff, and that'll be a lot of fun.
We're going to have to drag Goodman in here.
We do. We need to drag Goodman down here.
We'll get Mike in here, and he'll give up some crappie fishing juice.
Yeah.
He might not be very willing, but we'll force it out of him.
We won't have a map. We won't circle stuff, but we'll give good information.
Yeah.
But I know this was just we just wanted to touch base. It's been a minute. Try to get another podcast out here for you guys. The apology was one of the real things that we needed to do. I felt like we needed to do. So I do again. I apologize. It wasn't what I like. Wasn't what Baitworks likes. But now we're up, we're rolling, we're firing on all cylinders, and ready to get back at it. Prove you guys we're going to be one of the top ones in the country to get your tackle from. So,
That's right.
Yep.
You guys got anything else to add
Sign
here?
up to win a cooler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If we didn't talk about it already, we have this
big.
This big dirty sweaty Yeti right here.
That's right.
That can keep a lot of stuff cold, or. Crappie or catfish limb liners, how many cats do you think you throw in there? A few.
Well, depends.
Not a lot because it's 75, but it's not as
depends on how big a fish you catch.
Yeah, or if you're better at it than all the ones that I could catch would fit in it. Yeah, but
some of these guys out here, I don't know if one would fit in it. We'll put the giveaway sign up link in the description, so just check that out and just click the link, sign up, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and win a Yeti.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I wish.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll win it.
You're not eligible.
Oh,
I hate to break it to you.
I keep on trying to convince him that I am able to win it, but he keeps on deleting my entry.
Yeah.
I won't do that to yours, I promise.
All right. Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. Stay tuned. We'll have more good action, good information headed your way. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.